Hey everybody, my name's Nick Murphy. I'm going to be doing a metagame minute here. It's kind of a bit of a tour more so than a metagame minute. But I guess we'll call the metagame minute game room / studio tour. Mike and I have spent the last 2 days essentially recreating our whole studio here in our apartment. And we're going to show it off in this video. I'm kind of going to go through and show our new little studio setup. And now it's cool because we actually kind of have like a more dedicated game room area too for when we have people over to play games, because before in our old studio, it functioned well as a studio, but wasn't really good for like just hanging out and playing games with friends. So let's check out the new studio.
3, 2, 1, bro.
All right, so real quick, let's take a look at our old studio. Our old studio was in what is our dining room, and this spot was great. It worked for us well, but just once we started streaming, we quickly outgrew it. We didn't have any room. As you can see on the sides and stuff, there's lights and stuff everywhere. We couldn't move around the table, and it just became too much. So now if you see it, this was our old studio. It's ugly and yellow because the light is white balanced for white light, not yellow light. But this is it. So now we have our couch and stuff here, and we have our TV, which used to be in our living room over there, in here now. But it's actually a nice little nook for a media room. And we kind of put bookshelves that used to be, let's focus up, bookshelves that used to be in our living room are now here, kind of to separate this room from the hallway and such. And then also it's just kind of a convenient place to put stuff like that weird dude and those stuff there, and a place to put our books. I spent, oh gosh, 9 or 10 hours doing stuff today, and so I haven't organized our bookshelves because I'm like, I've already worked enough today. I don't need to do that. So this is our new studio space. We have a sunken down living room in our apartment. We have this railing. We're actually really lucky to have a very big living room for LA. We also have a dining room. Dining rooms don't exist in LA, and yet for some reason we got one, and a pretty big sunken down living room, and we don't pay that much for this place for LA prices, at least. Focus up. So this is our new studio. This is the hallway. We got our restoration game stuff right there for giveaways and such, but this is our new studio. So that's it. That's the new spot. Our TV used to be against that back wall, and we used to have couches along here, and then that chair used to kind of be where the desk is. But let's go down and see. So along this back corner is where those bookcases used to be, and now we just have that chair, which is kind of awkward back there, and we don't really know what to do with it, so we're trying to figure out. But back here will probably be like light storage and such, because these lights, even though this is a pretty big room, when you have all the lights and stuff set up, it still takes up a ton of space. So this is our desk where we're gonna edit all of our videos and stuff. This whole situation used to be on our table, and we just kind of edited where we played, where we streamed, did everything. It was all right there in the same spot. Now we actually have a dedicated desk, and these monitors we'll just turn around whenever we're streaming. If we're streaming and we're sitting over there, we just turn them around. That way we can see the monitors and see the chat and make sure everything's going good. And then anytime we're not streaming, they'll be flipped around this way so we can sit here and edit. And we have our computer and stuff over there, and we just have an IKEA desk on a crappy chair. There's our computer, and then down here is all of our podcasting equipment just put inside of a little end table bookcase. There's a little storage area that I haven't organized because it wasn't until about 20 minutes ago that I was like, oh, we can use this as a storage place for all of our camera equipment and stuff. So there's books and stuff on it, which will eventually go over there. But so that's gonna be a little storage spot. And then this is the, I guess, I don't know, the actual studio, the streaming space. So this is our streaming table. This is where we played games. This is our dining room table. And there's our game mat, which used to be on the table this way, so it covered more of it, but now it's kind of awkward because the table is sideways. But we're gonna be getting a new table at some point, hopefully in the near future. So the table problem will be alleviated, and it won't be quite so awkward. But it doesn't matter quite so much here because the way we stream with our overhead cameras and such, all you see is the mat. And so you don't really see anything else. You don't see these kind of awkward wood parts of the table, and that's totally fine. And I'm not going to get into all of our streaming equipment and our whole stream setup. I will do a separate video of that next week of going into the programs we use and what kind of cameras we use and the little rig that we made and how all that works. But then back this way is where we have our shelves. We have the Kallax shelves from IKEA because they just work so darn well. We really like the way they look. We're going to be adding another shelf, another 4x4, kind of like that, except for this is actually two 2x4s stacked on top of each other. We're going to get a true 4x4 that's going to go along this way so that we can film this way and that way and that way, and then eventually we'll probably put something over there. But you can see we have a bunch of games, and we now have more shelves than we actually need, and so we have some empty room, which is great because it means our collection can grow a bit. And this black Kallax shelf was actually a part of our black desk over there. As you can see, if we come around this way, this has this leg right here, but on this side, it's actually just a big flat black piece of wood, essentially. So originally that black Kallax over there was on that side of the desk. It was a desk that also had a shelving unit on it, but the shelving unit was just a 4x6 Kallax, which is pretty cool. So yesterday, Mike and I, when we were moving the desk, were like, hey, why don't we take off the Kallax shelf from that and then just go get some 2x4s, paint them black, screw them onto the side of here, and make a desk, and then we'll have a whole nother shelf we can use for games and for our backdrop for our studio. And then Mike, who's a genius, went to IKEA's website and looked to see if they already had legs, and they do. They sell these legs for $4 a piece, and they're literally made for this desk. And so we went, spent $8, got 2 legs for it, took a Kallax off, and saved ourselves $70 from having to buy one of these Kallaxes. And so now it's over here. And so now we have all of our beige Kallaxes, and then we have our black and our green one. So have a little bit, we have an accent wall, we'll put it. But we have a whole bunch of different games, and we got all our tchotchkes and stuff up here. I'll give a little round view, and if anyone wants us to go through all these, let us know. We'll go through everything on our shelves there. But we got a whole bunch of stuff, and then, you know, we got games and more tchotchkes and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then we have those lights down there, and those are so we can backlight our green screen for when we stream. Now, this is something that we had in our other studio in that room, but it's something that I think is really, really cool, and I think is really awesome for what we do. You can see this rail on top of the ceiling. Now, this rail is what holds our green screen. It's essentially like a shower curtain rail. And we decided to use it for a green screen. That way we didn't have to, we used to have to tack our green screen to the ceiling to have our green screen for streaming. And then Mike had the brilliant idea of making a shower curtain that would just go across. And then I remembered that they had these things. And so we put our minds together and came up with this, which is pretty cool. So now we have a green screen that we can essentially just bring around and just keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. And it just goes all the way around as I kick over a light. Bang, bang. And it just goes all the way around. So now we can just sit here and stream like this with this behind us, and no matter where we're sitting, and even if we have 5 or 6 guests with us, we can have everyone on a green screen. We can have everyone with a green screen behind them, whether they're sitting over here, and eventually if we get like multi-camera situations where we have like 4 or 5 cameras going, we can have one pointing this way, and then one pointing this way, and then this way, and this way, and this way, and all of it will be on the green screen. And it works really, really well, and then it just goes away really, really quickly, because all you have to do is go over there, and then it's done. So this is a situation that we had in there, and it worked for that room, but we can only do so much. But now in here, we're completely surrounded, and we just we got a big green screen and a big U, you know. So that is going to be it for our little studio tour. Please let us know if you want us to go into anything more in depth. Again, I'm going to go through our streaming stuff. People have asked for that multiple times of like, what do you guys use for cameras? What do you guys use for sound? All that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go through that all next week. If there's anything in our studio you want to know about, you want to find out more about, let us know and we'll make a video about it. I want to give props out to our roommate who doesn't watch these videos. But just in case he does, he's very cool about letting us just take over our entire apartment to do stuff like this. He's actually the one that suggested that we come down here. So yeah, thanks so much for joining us for a little studio tour thing. Hopefully it wasn't too shaky and crazy. But let us know if you want to see anything else.
Hey, you just saw us in that video, and now here I am again. Why are you still here? Since we got you here, go ahead and check out Restoration Games. There's info for them in the description below, and they sponsor us. They're super cool and have great games. And there's also like things to click to subscribe to us. And this game is broken. There's videos. There's just more stuff to click so you can see more of this.